In this video, I'm going to be creating a curved half wall in this area, maybe something that could be used in a reception counter, as well as I'm going to apply tiling to this curved area using the surface covering tool. And the objects that I'm going to use for this is the star box. Now, in version 18 with the Fusion Tiles catalog, where it accommodates grouting, we would have to factor the grouting into the size of the various segments that we would need to create this curve. And I'm going to use a 5mm grouting, so the size of my box that I'm going to add in will be 305mm wide. I'm just going to use a depth of 100 and set my height to 1.1 meters. And I'm going to add, I would say about, let's say, I think there are 10 there, 10 or 9. Let's just add one more for good measure. And to start creating the curve, what we're going to do is we've moved to our mover palette. We are going to use our rotate about Z axis. And let us just zoom in a little closer to these objects. And the method that we will use is, firstly I will select the remaining boxes that we've created here. I will right click and position my cursor at this point, as what we want to do is rotate around the Z axis of this point here. So we select the rotate about Z axis, we make sure that it says rotate about cursor, and I'm going to use a negative value as we're rotating about the anti-clockwise direction. So if I just type in -7.5, that's a little bit too much of an angle, so I'm just going to undo that, and let's just go -6. That looks good, and we will just hold down shift and draw a window around that box to deselect it, right click and position cursor. Hit the rotate about Z axis and once again use a -6 value. Instead of right clicking, clicking position cursor, if we hit the scroll wheel of our mouse, it will automatically position the cursor at the point that we are looking for. And I'm just going to follow this procedure. Just a couple more. And now I'm just going to keep this number of segments for this particular demonstration, but if we got to the end here and we needed to continue this further on, we could just attach our cursor to the box, go to edit and duplicate, and it adds another one on, and we can then continue the curve along the wall there. Now we could leave the boxes in individual pieces. This will just create a large item list. And the problem that we have here is that when we select the surface covering tool, we would have to apply a tiling surface to each and every single one of these boxes individually. So let's revert back to the plan view, and what we'll do now is take the polyad tool, set the height of our box to 1.1 meters, and we will use the polyad tool to start drawing the box according to the curve that we've just laid out. And what this will allow us to do is to have a single item, and with a single item we can select multiple surfaces with the surface covering tool. So there we have one single item of the box. We'll just draw a bounding box around those objects and then around these and delete them from the design. And as we return to perspective, we'll see it looks exactly the same, but now when we select our surface covering tool, we can select multiple polygons on this one item. We go to the core menu, apply surface covering. So let's use the Fusion Tiles, and we will add a selection. Select the tile we're looking for. Let's just use this one. We've got our size set to 300. We will now select our grout. I'm just going to use a dark grout, and there's my grout and thickness set to 5. I'll just click OK. Give it a minute to update on the render. And there we have a tiled curved surface. Now this principle of creating the curved surface could be used for multiple things. Maybe you're creating a curved bar. You can just use a star box, 60mm thick, and set it to 100mm wide, and you do use the same principle and you can get very nice curved surfaces. Obviously the smaller the length of the box originally, the smoother the surface of the curve will look.